Hello everybody, my name's Amanda and I'm here to give you a little bit of inspiration on the fabulous USB called Alphabet and Words. So, just a small quick, just a little bit of a quick project that you can go from a little card, because this is a card blank, look, it's scored and everything. And I've gone with Harry. And then you can go from that to this. Okay, and this isn't even the biggest one because I've done this on a 12 by 12 mat. So can you imagine this on a 12 by 24 mat? So we could go really big. I am going to go into a bit more detail with it as well, even down to doing the drawing for the lettering. So the actual one that I've chosen to work with is font number 23, which is the dinosaur font, which I thought was real fun, and we could do something quite fun card. Okay. So some of it I've already gone ahead, but I am going to go step by step to try and work through and talk through how you would get to the end result of this. And by the end of it, we'll have one project. Okay, so I just wanted to show you how easy it is. And also just to let you know, once we've done all this work for this one thing, save it, because then you can resize it. You resize everything together so you can still make Harry from a little tiny one. We could even go smaller than this. That isn't the smallest, to Harry. As long as you just do the work once, but once you put the work in for whatever word or whatever card blank you want in, when you save it onto USB, you'll never have to do it again. Okay, so that's where we're heading. So, and I do like doing things like this. A little project like this is a lot of fun. So we're going to go to the screen. So I'm going to go retrieve data, USB. Now, I've obviously got all my magazines and things on here, so I want to go right down to the bottom to where I've actually done some of the work for my Harry card. And this is where it is. So I'm going to bring this on. I'm going to press OK. Now I've set this on a workable mat. Now, what I want to show you first of all is here is my Harry card full and complete. So here I've already welded everything together, put in my score line, which is there, and that is my card blank. But also below, these are the different stages I want to talk you through. So I've got individual letters not welded together. I've got the whole word welded together. I've doubled the word to make the card, and I've also brought on the draw file. So this is where we're going to try and get to, okay? So I'm going to go home, okay, and I'm actually going to go to the USB now so I can show you how to get that far. I'm going to go down. I want to go into my Tattered Lace USBs, into my SVGs. So once you get into your SVG files, you've got cutting and drawing. So I'm going to go into the cutting files. Now, once you open this, when you've received your USB, you will have got a sheet on there that tells you every design of alphabet, from something that's quite floral to something that's the dinosaur. Now, I know my dinosaur alphabet is an alphabet number 23. So I'm going to go down to alphabet number 23. I'm going to click on that, and it's going to open it up. Now, when it opens it up, it's got detailed design and it's got charisma. Now, the detailed design is in there. That is more as if you're working with the die. So it'll put all the little cuts and nicks and things in there for you, but the charisma is a little bit different. So we're going to click on charisma. Now, A and B. So A are my letters. But I'm going to go back, I'm going to show you everything. We'll go back. B are the numbers. And like I say, we're working with the dinosaur alphabet, which is the way we've got all these little spikes and things on there. So I want to work with the A set because we're wanting the letters. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to press OK. So I only want elements of this. I don't want all of it. So first of all, I am going to delete the box. We don't need that. Now for my word Harry, I'm going to pull out H, A, my R, and my Y. Now everything else on this screen, I don't need. So to eliminate that, I'm not going to delete individual things. I'm just going to show you, if I click on select everything and I clicked part mat, with my arrow, I can drag this across here, and I don't have to go all the way over the H. I only have to touch the H, and it knows that I don't want to delete that. So I'm going to press OK. Now, as you can see, everything else on the screen has got a red box around it. I'm going to press OK, and I'm going to press delete, because I don't want any of that part of the alphabet. I only want my letters that make my name. So I'm going to bring these over here. Okay, like so. Now, Harry has got 2 R's. So I'm now going to select my R. I'm going to go back into Object Edit. I'm going to go into multiple numbers, click it, so I've now got 2. Now I've got my right amount of letters for Harry. Okay, so at this stage, if you think you're going to make a mistake, just keep saving it at different stages. It won't take up any room. Just press save at any point, and then you're not going to lose where you are. So if you do go wrong, you can always go back to the point where you saved it last. Okay, so now we've got Harry, but I'm going to line this up because that's not going to make my word card yet, is it? So I want to select everything, and I want everything on the mat, and I'm going to press OK, but I want to align it all. So I'm going to align everything. I'm going to click here, and I want it all aligned centrally, and they all move. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to zoom in, because I want to move these letters so they're overlapping. So I'm going to click on there, and I just want to click on my A. Now, using my cursor keys here at the side, I can actually just use my stylus and drag it over, but I'm going to use my cursor key and keep clicking that until my A overlaps my H. And it doesn't have to be by very much, like so. Then I'm going to do the same with my R. Whoops, bit too far. So I'm just making sure at that bottom edge that my A and my R are overlapped. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit more so it may make it a little bit easier. Okay, so now can we see that I've got my H, my A is overlapped here, and my R is overlapped down here. So I'm going to click my R, and I'm going to move this over this side. But obviously, because where the R has got 2 pieces, it will overlap on both edges. So I'm happy with that. But now I want to find my Y. It's here, look. So I'm going to click on my Y and move that across to my R. Just nice and steady, because at this one, it's going to overlap at the top. Okay, so now I've got an overlap here. It may tell me shortly when I want to weld all this together that there's not enough overlap here, and which I'll just tab it across a little bit more. But at the moment, I'm happy with that. So if I now bring in our name Harry, okay, as you can see on some of this, we've lost some of the detail because of some of the overlapping, but that doesn't matter, because we're then going to make the big letters and put all that detail back in with the drawing file as well. Okay, so pop that to one side. So I'm going to press OK and OK again. So I'm now happy with how that looks. So I need to select everything on the mat because I need to group it together. So at every stage, on my very first screen that I showed you where I'd got everything laid out, that's what I've done. I've then saved this as it is. And then I've gone back, grouped it together, moved it out the way and saved it again. That's why I've ended up with lots of images on my mat, because I've wanted to be able to do this multiple times without me having to go through it every step, every time I want to do the card. Harry. So I want to select everything on the mat, one red box about all of it. So now you can see everything's highlighted. In fact, top tip, we're going to make sure that it's all still aligned first. So we're going to go into alignment, and I'm going to press that alignment, and it is, nothing moves, so I know we're still aligned. just in case it's got a bit wibbly wobbly and you've used a stylus, it's always getting to a good habit to go back into your alignment to make sure you've got everything level. So I'm happy with that, really happy. And I'm going to go into edit, object edit, and this one is group, but we want to attach them together, so we're going to weld, so we want the next one on. It says OK weld pattern outline, but it is going to tell me, the machine is so good, it's going to tell me this is irreversible. But remember, you've already got your alphabet, you're not doing anything to the alphabet that's already on your USB. But yeah, I do want to weld it. I'm going to press OK. So I've now got one word that's all grouped together as one, but that's not going to make me a card blank, it's going to fall over. So now we need to add another element to it, but we need 2 Harrys. So now we go into multiples. I want 2 of them. I'm going to press OK. Now I'm going to work on just one for the minute, so I'm going to drag that out of the way. Now while we're in this screen, we've got lots of things that we can do on this screen, okay? So first of all, I want to flip it. Now we've got Harry that's back to front, okay? So it's flipped it over. But now I also want to rotate it. So I want to rotate it 90 degrees, 90 degrees again, and I'm going to press OK. Now we've got Harry meeting up, that the HA, they all meet. But we want to make sure that they're aligned correctly. So again, we just group everything on the mat, press OK, align. This time I'm going to go into my alignment and I want them aligned this way, centrally, that way. Okay, so it's this one. So I know they're above each other. I'm going to press OK, OK again. Now I'm going to work on one at a time. Now I do it this way because I know then when I overlap something, it's overlapped the same amount of times. So at the first one, I'm going to work with the top and I am going to go into my alignment and I'm going to use my cursor keys. So I'm going to press that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to click on the other Harry and I'm going to use my cursor up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to go back to the other one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the other one, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this means that when they're coming together, by the time they overlap, they're going to overlap at the same increment. I'm sure you've seen, I know Mel does this quite a lot on air. So I just want 1, 2, 3 maybe. 1, 2, 3. So we're very close now. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I think we might have started overlapping, which we have, you can see. So now I don't do as many taps, I'm only tapping twice. Now when I look on there, I'm going to go into zoom. I'm going to go into zoom again, and I'm going to use my arrow keys to look at how much I've actually overlapped. Now you can see we've got quite an overlap on here, but it may not just be quite enough because sometimes you get the gaps and the holes and it doesn't like that. But I'm going to try it because I think we could be not far from being right. So I'm going to press OK, and this will happen to you at home. So I want you to see the process of how we're doing it. We're going to go back into Object Edit, and again now we want to weld. So I'm going to press Weld, and if it won't want to do it, it's going to tell me, but it does. It says it's OK. So I'm going to press OK, OK again. So now we've got the Harry card, but we want to put a score line in the middle. So I'm going to press OK and I want to add. Now in the machine, you're going to find that you have some borders. Here we are. The very last border, oh, here we are, border, that one, I want that. That's now a dashed line. I'm going to set that on the mat. I'm going to bring it over here. Okay. I'm going to press Harry. I'm going to go into Edit, Object Edit, and I'm going to go into Resize because I want to know how wide it is. So Harry is 109 millimetres wide. If I now click on the dash line, that's 102. I don't want it quite as big as that. I don't want the dash lines to go over the edge. So I am going to lose another 2mm off that. I'm going to keep it at 100 millimetre. I'm going to press OK. OK again. So to centralise my score line in the middle, I'm going to select everything on the mat and we're going to use our alignment function again. We're going to centralise in the middle and horizontally. Now my score line is set right in the middle. So now when I cut it out, Harry will fold exactly where it is. Now I am aware that the score line function is on the SDXs, but not on the CMs. So for me, I would get as far as just not putting the score line on, and you would just score it on your scoreboard and fold it. Okay, it's really, really easy. I just wanted to add in that instruction for those of you that do have an SDX, so you can actually use it rather than miss it out. So now we've got Harry. So I'm going to press OK. I don't want to weld these together because there may be a time where I don't want that score line in there. So I'm going to press OK, OK again, Object Edit, and we're just going to group them. So that just means that I can move my score line and my Harry at the same time. So we've got that far. Now we need the letters to go back on top of Harry. So I'm now going to go back in. So I'm going to add, oh sorry, cancel. Glasses would be a good thing. I'm going to go add. So we're going to retrieve data back into our USB. I'm going to go back into my words and alphabet. So now we're going to need the single letters and the drawing file. So now we want to go back and add. So I'm going to press add. I'm going to go into retrieve data, back into our USB. I'm going to go into my alphabet and words, SVG, cut in because that's the one we're using. I'm going to go back into number 23, which is my dinosaur. Now in your detailed design, I'm going to click on here, you can see, so we've got A to H, we've got the alphabet mats, which I'll show you how, I'm going to do a quick demonstration how to use those. We've got obviously I to Q, and then number mats, numbers, and R to Z, okay? We haven't got any tabs here, so we know that that's the only page. So I want to go into H, and on here, you can see that we've got the detailed ones, but I really liked these as a drawing file to add detail to my Harry word. So I'm going to press OK, move my Harry word out the way. So the details that I need are H and A. There's nothing else there that I want. So we're going to do the little trick again, where we're going to select part of the mat and delete the rest of it. So they've gone. So now we've got H and A, and then you would go back into the same and collect the whole of the Harry. So from here, I'm going to go back to what I've already done. Press OK. So this is now going to go into what I'd already got prepared. So now what you're seeing on the screen are my saved single letter Harrys. Okay, so they're all my saved ones. Then you can see that is my welded Harry word. Below it you can see my second Harry word, which is what we flipped and rotated and welded together. And then here you can see my third piece, which is my Harry card and my score line. Then the point that we've just done is I've gone in and collected all of my detail from the detail one. This is going to be my drawing pieces, okay? So what I'm going to do is all of this I'm going to move down here, okay? So I don't want to be using any of that. That's just out the way. So I'm going to bring all of these on here, like so. And then this is something that I can do individually. So I'm going to go into my edit again. I'm going to select part of my mat. It's always easier if you select the piece first, sorry, just another little tip, that you're wanting to highlight. So if I select the Y and I only want this bit, the Y is still going to be highlighted because I've already clicked on it. So if I collect the H, so I'm part of the mat, cover everything else up and press OK. So now two H's are highlighted. I'm going to press OK. I'm going to go into my alignment again. You do use an alignment a lot on this, but it does help a lot. So I'm going to align them centrally and vertically. Now I've got my drawing file that's fitted exactly over the top of my letter. So that's when we get this. So my drawn detail is now on my letter, which then, when I bring in my word, it's then going to sit over the top like so, and then we're going to have a lovely dinosaur shaped Harry. Okay. So now we've done the H, what we're going to do is go ahead and align all the others, and we're going to use very similar technique again. Okay, same thing. So I'm going to click on the A because it's the A that we're aligning. I'm going to click on part of the mat again, but all of this down here I don't need to touch. And I'm going to move all the way over like that. And now I can move the other one over the H because it's not going to touch it. I'm going to press OK. Now we're just working with the A's. Press OK again. We're going to go back into alignment, into the alignment function, and align them on top of each other, just like so. So again, just quickly, click the letter that we're working with. We're going to go back into our select everything, but we want part of the mat. We're going to cover over both letters. We're going to use our other arrow to bring that space in. So we're just working, we just want the machine to pick up on the two R's. Press OK, OK again, and our alignment function, centrally and horizontally. Now, because we've done one, at this stage, if you wanted to, you could just press multiple and then it would be aligned. But it's just as quick, I think, to do the alignment again. So we're going to press on the R again. I'll just speed up a little bit. I just want to align over like that. And if you just follow all the keys that I'm pressing, it's really, really easy. I'm going to press OK again, select my Y. I want to select part of the mat, remember. And this time we're moving that over, covering all the other letters up. Press OK, OK again, alignment, alignment function, centrally and horizontally. Now, all of these letters are lovely and lined up. These have got all our drawing files on there now. So at this point, I'm going to press OK. So now we're going to group these together. I've already gone ahead and put on some fabulous looking cardstock on my card ready, and I've cut them down to size. So we're not going to waste any of our cardstock. So now we're wanting to group everything together. So we're wanting to group the actual drawing file and the actual cutting file. So again, we're going to do exactly the same what we've just done, but it's a little bit quicker because we're just going to go group, move on to the A, says OK, select part of the mat, sorry, press OK, and we're going to group that one. Then we're going to go on here. I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to select part of the mat. I'm going to obscure or cover all the others. Press OK, object, group. Now for the R, part of the mat, obscure the pieces that we don't want to group. So now we're grouping each piece individually, just for the cut file and the draw file. and I'll show you why we're doing that in just a second. It will all become apparent. And it's because once we've drawn all of these, I want to delete the draw file from where it is and then cut it. So it will actually cut in situ, so we don't have to align them back up. Because what we could do is bring on each letter, cut the H out, bring on the draw file, align it over the top and draw it. Whereas now I'm setting this up like this. Once we've done this, we only have to do it once. It is a little bit more long-winded, but it means that it's all ready for you to use, okay? So now we're going to scan in our mat. So we're going to make sure I've got all those pieces firmly stuck down, like so. And I'm going to press OK because I want to scan in the mat, which again is a fantastic feature of all our machines of the scan and cut, because I want to see where these colours are. I've spaced them out, they're all individual, and I want to draw them, then I want to cut them out. So, and at the bottom here, we've also got our actual mat as well, so we'll leave that out the way. So we're going to have Harry, so I'm going to leave it, I was almost there, look, with my spacing, like so. So now we're going to change our cutting blade to our drawing. So I'm going to get out my universal pen holder. Pop in my pen, tighten it up, pop it in the machine. I'm going to press OK, and now it's going to draw all these letters for me. Start. So now we're on the last letter. I do like doing things like this, especially bright, colourful projects, and it is a lot of fun. And I think one of the best things about the scan and cut is that we can go from a little tiny Harry to a really big Harry. So this, again, is amazing. That could be a place setting at a wedding. Okay, so if you've got a wedding, you've got children coming, you can do all the adults in the fancy script, then the kids can have their own little place settings that's a dinosaur font, which is it's just so much fun, and they'll love that they've got that. Or you can then have Harry, he's a big boy, and he's got his big birthday card, okay? But also this could be a banner as well. So there's just one other technique right at the very end that I just want to quickly go through, show you where the pieces are on the USB that we can make a banner to go with his actual card. So I'm going to pop that to one side. Now we've got Harry, okay? I'm going to press OK. Here, on each one, I want to go back to a working mat so we can still see the screen. I'm going to press H. I'm going to go into Edit, Edit Object, Ungroup. So the last thing I put on the mat is my draw file. So now, if I click on there, on the H, it should be the H, the draw file that's on the top, because it's the last one. So the first thing I put on the mat was the cutting one, then I put the draw file, and the machine has seen it as the top layer. Okay, so when I click on that, I can separate out the draw file. Now we're going to delete it. Okay, I'm going to press OK. I want that gone. So I'm going to click on my A, Object, Edit, Ungroup. I'm going to click off it. When I click back on it, press OK. Let's click off it, then click back on it, because it's cancelling it out. Now I can get hold of the draw file again and delete. Press OK. I want my R, Object, Edit, ungroup, click off and back on, grab my draw file because it's on top, delete, yes. Again, I'm going to ungroup, I'm going to click off and click back on, remove my draw element, press OK and delete. And then finally with my Y, I'm going to ungroup, press OK, click off it, back on, grab my draw file and delete it. Now all I'm left with, I've not moved anything. I've not taken my cardstock off. I've not changed anything yet. But what I need to do next is take out my draw file, pop in my cutting blade, because these are now the cutting files. So I'm going to press OK, OK again. I'm going to select cut and start. Now that's going to cut only the outside edge of each of these letters, which are going to give us a fabulous little mat layer for our card. So now we have our word Harry. So I'm just taking that last one off. We've got all of these. Don't throw these away because these can now be used. You can pop a square around the outside edge on your machine, align it up, cut it out, and then you've got the opposite. So, or even you've got stencils for the word as well. So don't ever throw some of your scraps away. Look at what you've got first. So now, I just love doing things like this, sorry. Let's take the mat out. So I'm going to get my little scraper, and we have our fabulous H, A, R, R, Y, and they've all got their lovely little bit of drawing on them, which is brilliant. So here's our card blank, and these are our fabulous letters. Like I said, I get a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun doing this. Look at all this. Now, any youngster, girl or boy, is going to think that this is amazing. So I've already popped a little bit of foam tape on here. I've gone ahead and cut out my actual card blank. Oops. Take all my backing tape off, like so. And again. All the way to the end. So we're going to have our lovely little Harry and a H. Oops. A. And obviously, because this one is the actual full letters, we've got all of the dinosaur prongs as well. We've got all the zigzaggy pieces. So that is our fabulous dinosaur card with all our dinosaur pieces and our drawn detail on there. So he stands up like so. And we've got the Big Daddy as well to go with it. So to go from this to this, super, super easy. Let's go to the machine so I can quickly just show you. We're going to go OK. So to ungroup, object edit, and you ungroup. So you've got to make sure that everything's ungrouped. We've separated them all out again. So for me, before I do any of this, like I've said, every stage of this, as you can see, I have actually saved each time. And when I work in this part of the mat. When I finish doing it, I pull it down here out the way and just press save, and it will say new or overwrite. Well, I just do new every time, and then I go back into the machine and delete all the sheets that I don't want, okay? So on every point, when I brought all the letters on, I saved it. When I grouped them together and welded the word, I saved it. When I duplicated it, I saved it again. When I welded the two together, I saved it again. And each time I'm saving anew by leaving all of these elements on the screen while you're working, it means that they are all now together for you to do the next stage, and you'll never have to do it again, okay? So the elements we need for the card, I'm going to delete that one off because I don't need that to do the resizing, and I don't need that one to do the resizing, but I do need all of these. So now to resize this, I'm going to press everything on the mat, okay, like so. So everything is highlighted. I'm going to go into my alignment. So to create my card, remember we need our card blank, we need our actual cut file for the letters, and we need our draw file to add in the detail. So they're the three pieces. I'm going to go to my alignment. I'm going to align everything centrally. So all my elements now are for that card are all sat on top of each other, okay? And we're going to then group. By grouping them, it means that when, so we now go back into Object Edit, into Group, press OK. By grouping all of that, when we resize it, they're all going to resize together at the same ratio. And I'll show you that in a second. So now, the fun bit, Object Edit, and we're going to resize. So we're just going to go plus. Okay, keep going. So we've now got this. So I'm going to press OK, and I'm now going to ungroup everything. So if I click off, so now I've got a big Y. So that's my H. These are my R. These are my draw files, remember? So that's my A, that's my R, and my R and my Y. So now I'll use my cursor keys because sometimes that's a bit easier to highlight the one you want. So now what's that one? That's my A, H, my R. I can now go to the Y because that's how I clicked on them for the bringing them onto the screen. So now you can see we've got our draw file, our cut line, and our card has all been resized, all in the same ratio, because my H will fit on there, my A, my R, and then all of those are now going to fit on my card, Harry, once I've cut it all out. So to start off with, the work that you put in, it's just all on the screen. There's no cutting involved. You've just got to bring on each element and do it a step at a time. But once you've created it and you've done all the work, you can then save that as a whole element, and then you can resize from a little Harry card to a big one. And that is the same for everything. So just quickly, the bunting. So because I've actually done that, I'm going to save it. Save it to my USB. New. So I don't need to do the resize even again. That's resized. Press OK. I'm going to press home. OK. Retrieve data. USB. Into my USB. SVG. I'm going to go into my cutting. I'm going to go to 23. Charisma. I'm going to press yes for that one. I'm going to press OK. So I'm just going to select and delete the frame. I just want one letter. So I'm going to grab the A because that's all we're going to work with. And delete everything else. Remember, we're working with the A. I'm going to move it out the way. Add, pattern, add, retrieve data, USB. Obviously for you, it would be a bit easier because you've just got the one USB in the side, unless you're going to actually put it onto, back into cutting, back into 23. I want the detail design, A to H. I'm going to press OK because I want the A. Everything else is going to be deleted. I'm going to select part of the mat, press OK, OK again, delete, OK. Now I need to edit, I need to go into edit, sorry, not edit, add, because I now need the mat. So I need to go back, all the way back into my USB. Like I say, it will be so much quicker for you because obviously I've got lots of things on here. So I want to go back into cutting, 23, detailed. Now in the detailed, in here we've got A to H, alphabet mats, and we've got the numbers, but I want one of the mats. I'm going to press OK because I want the A mat, okay? And again, as I've been showing you, we're going to select part of the mat, cover over everything else, and it's just a quicker way of deleting all of that off our screen. Now we've got all of this, so this is fabulous. So I'm going to group everything on the mat, align centrally, horizontally, press OK, OK again, object edit, group. So now I've got the A, and now we're going to resize, resize, let's go a bit bigger, like so. So now I can go ungroup. So I have got my actual mat layer this time. I've got my cutting file, which cuts out the middle of my A, and I've got my drawing file. Now all of this now can make a banner. So what I would do is exactly the same thing, bring everything onto the mat, small, group everything together, align it centrally and horizontally. Select everything on the mat, align it centrally and horizontally, group it together, enlarge it, ungroup it, and then save it to the machine. Then I would then select individual, so I would bring it back onto the mat, select all my A pieces, delete off everything else, and do my A, then go back in and do the same and bring each letter on and work each letter individually. So now this is going to make me a banner, but then that is just resizing. So we've got the draw file, the cut mat, and the mat layer to make a banner. And that is just how you use the USB and how you would do the resizing. But I just think it's amazing that we can have the facility. Now I've got done the work, I've got that permanently ready and raring for me to go.